On April 1st, an expedition vessel named the MV Hondius set sail from southern Argentina with 149 people on board. Today, that luxury cruise ship is anchored near the Canary Islands, functioning as a quarantined biohazard zone following a lethal viral outbreak. Dozens of exposed passengers left the ship early, scattering on commercial flights across the UK, US, South Africa, and the Netherlands. As health authorities traced these paths, rumors of a mysterious illness with a 40% mortality rate flashed across social media worldwide. Almost immediately, YouTube channels and viral threads began predicting a deliberate population control event engineered for 2026, pulling supposed evidence from old Bill Gates interviews and episodes of The Simpsons. We all share a collective trauma from the last few years. Hearing about a highly lethal pathogen crossing international borders immediately triggers our worst anxieties. To figure out what is actually happening, we have to push past the algorithm-driven panic and look closely at the virology. The pathogen responsible for the deaths aboard the MV Hondius isn't an engineered bioweapon or a novel coronavirus. It belongs to the hantavirus family. These spherical viral particles are well documented by researchers. Depending on where you are in the world, an infection typically leads to one of two severe conditions. In Europe and Asia, it causes hemorrhagic fever that aggressively attacks the kidneys. In the Americas, it triggers a pulmonary syndrome where the lungs rapidly fill with fluid. But there is a crucial biological difference between this and the viruses that normally spark global concern. Hantaviruses naturally live inside wild rodents like mice and voles, causing the animals absolutely no harm. A human typically catches it through a very specific mechanical process. If you sweep out an old barn or a closed-up cabin, dried rodent droppings are disturbed. The viral particles become aerosolized into the air, creating an invisible, toxic cloud that you then inhale directly into your lungs. Because the virus relies entirely on that environmental exposure, the infection hits a hard stop once it enters a person. Standard hantavirus strains cannot jump from that infected individual to anyone else. A single case is a brutal physical fight for the person who breathed in that dust. Yet that strict biological reliance on a rat or a mouse means the virus lacks the machinery to sweep through human cities on its own. That biological roadblock is exactly why the MV Hondius outbreak triggered such an aggressive response. Laboratory tests confirmed the passengers were exposed to a specific South American variant known as the Andes strain. Out of the entire hantavirus family, the Andes strain is the only one documented to possess the ability to jump directly from one human to another. While internet commentators braced for the apocalypse, international health agencies quietly activated established, methodical containment protocols. They deployed specialized track and trace teams to find every passenger who left the ship. Those still on board were scheduled for strictly controlled repatriation flights, and everyone exposed faces a mandatory 45-day isolation period. They are doing this because even though the Andes strain can spread between humans, it is notoriously bad at it. It requires incredibly close, prolonged physical contact with an actively sick person, like caring for an infected spouse in the same room, to successfully make the leap. Global health organizations aren't monitoring flights because a worldwide outbreak is inevitable. They are executing a zero-tolerance dragnet because an illness this deadly allows absolutely no room for error within an exposed cluster of people. This chart compares lethality against transmissibility. Standard respiratory viruses sit bottom right, highly contagious but with low fatality. Hantavirus drops into the extreme opposite corner. The pulmonary syndrome has a staggering fatality rate pushing 50%, but barely registers on the transmissibility scale. There is no pill to cure it and no vaccine to prevent it. Survival depends heavily on intensive medical support, like ventilators to breathe and dialysis machines to filter the blood. Fortunately, you have to be in highly specific, contaminated environments to ever face that risk. This is why the World Health Organization explicitly stated that this is not the next COVID. You cannot catch this pathogen by walking through a crowded hotel lobby or passing a stranger on the street. It makes perfect sense that our first instinct is to assume the worst. We are primed by recent history to view any severe, localized medical tragedy as the opening scene of a global disaster. Yet the biological mechanics of the virus itself act as an invisible firewall. Its absolute reliance on a rodent host and its clumsy, inefficient attempts at human-to-human transmission keep it securely boxed in. When we take the time to understand how a pathogen actually operates, the picture changes entirely. We can replace paralyzing internet speculation with precise, targeted public health action,